Good morning, Rockford Christian School's family. I'm Kate Faber, second grade teacher at Rockford Christian School. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Did you just think of Mr. Rogers? I grew up watching this show and have recently watched the movie and read a biography of Fred Rogers. He was very intentional about many aspects of his life and his kids' TV show. And every single day on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, he invites us to be a neighbor. Lately, some of the only people I've actually seen in person are my immediate neighbors. We've been staying at home, taking walks on our own street, playing in our own yard, and I've gotten to chat from a distance with my immediate neighbors more in the last 2 months, it seems, than in all the years I've lived in my house. But this time has also encouraged me to reflect on other people in my life who are my neighbors. Who are these people that are my neighbors? Mr. Rogers does not live on my street, but his daily invitation to be a neighbor echoes Jesus' conversation from Luke 10 with the rich man. The man asks, "What must I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus replies, "What is written in the law? You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." You have given the right answer, Jesus says. Do this and you will live. And then the rich man asks, "Well, who is my neighbor?" And Jesus doesn't really answer him outright, but instead tells the story of the Good Samaritan. He invites the listener to be a good neighbor. Who are our neighbors? The folks that live on our street? Yes. But also the woman from my church who hasn't left her house in 8 weeks. The girls that used to babysit my son but are now unemployed. The students in my now virtual classroom. The cashier at the grocery store who's working overtime. How can we be good neighbors to those around us right now? Another quote from Mr. Rogers that I've connected to recently is this. How many times have you noticed that it's the little quiet moments in the midst of life that seem to give the rest extra special meaning? You've probably had to cancel plans this spring. School and church and trips and parties and sports have all been canceled or postponed. Maybe you've even had to celebrate a birthday or anniversary or graduation during quarantine. With canceled plans, working from home, and mostly free evenings, our news stories may still be loud, but our days are filled with quiet and space. Much more quiet and space than fit into my schedule before March 13 this year. These moments of quiet have made my interactions with others, when I do have them, even more meaningful right now. So here's the challenge. Can we spend some time in those quiet moments that we're currently in to be a good neighbor, to love our neighbors? Who could you pray for right now? Who could you call or text to check in on? Who could use an encouraging note sent through the mail? My prayer for us this morning is that we can stop and rest in these quiet moments of our days, and then use those quiet moments to love our neighbors. May we listen to Jesus' words from Luke 10 and go and do likewise.